live from a pile of ESG branded Exxon Valdez Walrus scrubbers. It's an all new, terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst whole Matt Moscardi in the best mood ever. On today's Let's All Hold Hands and Pretend Everything is Going to Be Okay show called April 7th, 2026, The Good Game.
Yeah, it's not a good day for me to play the good game. I mean, the state of geopolitics, how could it be a good day for anyone? Okay, well, just for a point of reference, so that everyone knows.
Societies are being threatened.
So everyone knows what I personally am going through, such that this is the most important thing we're going to talk about today. You have all the geopolitics. You have an absolutely unhinged, demented president who's threatening civilization. Okay, so you got that as a backdrop. I was reading the Sam Altman New Yorker piece. That's in the back of my head.
That's not good.
And the middle of my head. And it's coming out.
To paraphrase that, they're calling him essentially a sociopath.
They're effectively saying that the man who started the AI revolution, who ousted his own board and has no checks and balances anymore because they tried to fire him because he was a sociopath, is now like fully unfettered sociopath.
Well, of course.
And totally, he's deranged in and of himself.
Because we're right about everything. I do pat ourselves on the back, although what point is there in doing it that we are the only media outlet to jump on that firing and stay on it for months. In fact, we still talk about it. That he absolutely should have been fired. He was fired.
We were the day it happened. We said
the only ones,
this is the board's job, and they did it. Right? Like, and remember, we contextually were like, this is a nonprofit board run by a guy who's trying to run a for-profit enterprise, doing something that could destroy humanity. The women knew the technology better than he did. Like, these are highly qualified, highly trained directors of a board making the proper decision to fire the CEO for not being transparent, lying to their faces, having all sorts of other issues. And then the world,
even his co-founder voted to get rid of him.
The world, every other media outlet was centered on the fact that this board, how dare they? They overuse their power.
Like, AI is cool. It's like it did math for me in like 0.1 second. It's like fun.
And lo and behold, and Satya Nadella.
It gave me like a smoothie recipe that like was amazing.
Do you remember Satya Nadella hired Sam Altman like 7 minutes later to work at Microsoft? Well, yeah, that's because
didn't they have a partnership at that point though?
They had a big partnership.
And or he was trying to get an ownership partnership.
And then Altman comes back and the board members are forced out. The two women and the co-founder, they're forced off the board.
Well, no, the co-founder had a long talk with his wife and then started crying and then changed his mind, remember?
Well, no, I think he left eventually.
Ilya Sutskever.
Yeah, I thought
eventually because he knew
left.
that he was working with the devil, yeah.
And now here we are.
Here we are.
So that's in the middle of my brain. And then on the front of my brain is the fact that I am forced, because I am not a coder, to use Claude to help us build the free float.
Well, take out a second mortgage and hire somebody.
I did that already, right? And they needed. Then they asked for health insurance, and I was like, I couldn't get a third mortgage. So now
this is a terrible way to start the good game. I don't like your energy.
It's really bad. I don't swear. Like, I don't get.
Yes, you do.
Like, I swear all the time. I don't swear at
on the Friday
someone.
show.
I don't call people fuck faces routinely. Like,
except for the Friday show during the As Holiest.
Yeah,
segment.
I mean, but that's different. There's like a wall of nothingness between. Like, it's not
which you told me recently is one of the reasons
listening,
why we have no sales.
Yeah,
or I should say minimal sales, because you're constantly yelling at everybody.
Because I'm constantly yelling at people. But I never treat any person like I treat the AI, because it is infuriatingly horrible. And that's the context by which we're going to play the good game. Let's do this.
So our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics and FreeFlowAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power connections performance for free. That's good.
All right, I give that a 10.
Honestly, if you're if you're a governance professional, especially one maybe like at a boutique firm, whatever that means, the good news is you can access a crap load of data for free. I mean, that's good.
That's
doesn't help the company at all, but it's good.
It's the only good to come out of anything.
Here's how the good game works. In a dark, scary world, we attempt to remain optimistic once a month. I find headlines that on their appearance seem good. Matt, the arbiter of truth, steps in and gives me a score of like 0 to 10, whether they're actually good or not. This game, pre-COVID, or this game actually used to be a bit more lighthearted. There was some good stuff happening, but that was at the before. That was like the first Trump administration. That was during the Biden administration. Like there was some hope, right? There was a little bit of hope.
There's reason to feel like...
I don't feel like people are very hopeful much anymore.
I remember one of the 10 out of 10 goods was when COVID hit, that there was a town, a village in India
or Nepal
that was so polluted they couldn't see a mountain. And when COVID hit, the pollution disappeared and they could see the mountain. And it was
beautiful.
It was like... The world has a possibility here.
Yeah.
And
remember, I stupidly said that I thought that we would learn lessons from all that.
That was cute. I love that.
Yeah. And then we remembered that the CEOs are in charge and they don't care about long-term anything. They just care about short-term everything. All right. Again, this is a terrible way to start the good game. Let's get into our good moods. I don't know. Do we have those? Let's start with an easy one. One that I think demonstrates the value of free flow analytics more than anything I can make up in my adult brain. Here's the headline. Activist investor seeks to oust Americold chair Mark Patterson over, quote, problematic boardroom behavior. Now, this is activist Sieve Capital. They want to get rid of him because of his tenure on another board, the board of Paramount Group. So is this good? I mean, this is like, in a nutshell, mirroring one of your points that I love the most, which is that vote them out everywhere, right? If there's a problematic director, then they should get rid of them everywhere. Good moment for board refreshment, right?
So I cannot argue. So Paramount Group is not Paramount Pictures. No, it's a right? This is a real estate company. So
real estate, yeah.
Just in case everyone gets confused, because I got confused when I saw Paramount the first time, and I was
Doesn't matter.
Oh, geez. But the point here is there's an activist who said, because you sucked over there, I want you gone over here. Yeah. That, in a nutshell, is the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's still Mark Patterson.
That's like, I don't know why. This is a 10 out of 10. Somebody did their homework. Somebody was like, people who, like, that would be like, oh, well, our fourth string point guard is horrible, injury-ridden, horrible, but
a jerk.
No one likes them.
Doesn't listen to anybody.
And they're trying to play on two different teams. The other team is keeping him around, and he's horrible there. Why do we want him here? We don't.
Yeah, I don't know why no one recognizes this.
This is so simple. I love it.
This is why one of the first things I always say when I'm describing our company to people is I use the Tim Cook example, that Tim Cook is not just the CEO of Apple. Yes, that's where he spends his most time. He's also the director of Nike. I mean, that's still Tim Cook, right?
Yes. It's
still the same guy, right?
It's that guy. In fact, looking at the data, because I am in the process, and this is what I'm using Claude for, we have to parse SEC filings because we have some gap years. I'm building a 25-year data set of directors, and it's actually funny to see, like, Bob Iger was on the board of Apple, and then
I forget that.
And then Mark Parker was on the board of Disney with Iger. Mark Parker was the CEO of Nike, and Tim Cook, who was on the board of Apple, is on the board of Nike now. These people.
Well, now I understand why they don't understand succession planning, because at Nike it's family run, so there is no planning. You just wait for a guy to burp, and at Apple the CEO died, so you wait for people to croak. Like, So that's why Bob Iger's like, what do you do? I don't understand life.
I mean,
all right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. 10, good start, though. I like the 10 out of 10. It made me feel a little
You're
bit
not going to
better.
like this one. I'm going to ruin it here. I think this might be my only AI one, because why would AI be in this? OpenAI releases policy proposals aimed at addressing fallout from AI-driven job losses. So Sam Altman, the aforementioned, is starting a push, basically calling it like the AI New Deal. It's a preemptive way of helping people in the sense, because he knows firsthand that AI is going to destroy everything. So,
Sam,
look,
just a quick,
yeah, go ahead.
Quick thought off the top.
Yeah.
If you know you're going to destroy everything, stop fucking destroying everything.
Well,
instead
here's my
of
proposal.
band-aiding it afterwards. It's like, I'm sorry, I just handed you that grenade and blew off your arm, but don't worry, I have a Band-Aid for it.
Here's my proposal, because this is what I've been saying, of course, all along, is we have to slow down. Like, we have to stop and write the rules and regulations, guard everything. But I'm going to listen to Sam on this one. I actually think here we have the perfect moment. Sam should step down from OpenAI, and I think he should make this cause his life story. Like, he's always worried about everything. Step down, lead the AI New Deal, and create plans that ensure that, people are taken care of, and whatever it is you want to do, bonuses, pay, 2-day work, whatever it is, just quit and start that. Just do that. Do only that. Okay, what's your score on that one?
Look, I just read I love your idea, but I just read the piece about how Sam Altman is a sociopath, a narcissist,
I cited this
horrible
before.
human being.
I actually did this yesterday before that New Yorker came out.
So it's a little bit hard to stomach. Oh, Sammy, why don't you lead the AI New Deal and think that it's going to end up without arm blown off?
Zuck did the same thing. Remember, in Congress, years ago, he's like, "Yeah, you're right. We're actually technically destroying culture and society. So you should regulate us." Remember, he said that.
Yeah, it worked really well.
Yeah, but the point was right. Like, and we should have regulated them out of existence, but we didn't do that. Anyway, what's your score?
I'm gonna give that a 2. Anything OpenAI does is gonna be pretty.
I guess you're right.
Look, the theory behind it that we need something now that we've blown shit up, that we need something. That's correct, but OpenAI should not lead it, and OpenAI should be forced to stop. Someone has to slow them down.
Yeah, because the problem is,
to stop.
We were talking before the show. Ed Bastian at Delta is suggesting that AI would be great for air traffic controllers. And I'm like, wait, who is Ed Bastian? He graduated from college in 1979 with an accounting degree. 1979. Yeah. And before he went to Delta, he worked in the Frito-Lay division at Pepsi. That's corn chips. And then you look at the Senate and the Congress, it's like a bunch of lawyers and business people. I think like 60% of them are millionaires. Like, we have absolutely the wrong people in charge of making decisions. It's scary. It's just the wrong people. I'm Ed Bastian. I mean, get back to corn chips. All right,
Ed Bastian, guy who can't run airlines, says AI should run air traffic control. Yeah.
EPA. This surprised me. The EPA wants to prioritize microplastics, pharmaceuticals as water contaminants. Here's the thing that made me giggle. The head of the EPA, Lee Zeldin, said the move sends a clear message, quote, "We will follow the science."
Yeah, yeah. Incredible.
This is the one time, I guess. But look, all the snideness and sarcasm aside, is this good? I don't really care about this one, but is it good?
The context is hard here because this is part of the Maha movement, isn't it? Isn't it like that sort of like new wagey? We don't actually listen to doctors. We listen to TikTok influencers about our health.
Unfortunately, I mean, if Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whatever his name is, really wanted to help, he would elevate the lower class and middle class to ensure living wages single payer health insurance, everything. He would actually elevate their lives to be, good lives instead of like worrying about things in the water.
But this is literally the gaslight, right? Like we've thrown out the science, and now we're going to send a clear message that we follow the science. This is like influencer talk.
What do you got? Give me a score.
It's hard because it's correct. Microplastics are a massive problem.
It's correct.
And coming out of the mouth of people who are going to do everything wrong and have done everything wrong and don't care. I'm going to give it a 5. I can't give it better than a 5. It's just in the middle.
It's a tough one. Back to Delta at Bastion. Delta started sharing profits with its 100,000 employees two decades ago. This is an article about how a CEO at Bastion saying how much shareholders love it. Although I don't know that there's proof of that. But we don't really talk about this a lot. But Delta disperses over $1 billion every year to roughly 100,000 employees. There's a formula that 10% of the first $2.5 billion in adjusted profits and 20% of everything above that goes directly to the workers as a cash bonus. Now, I know at its face value, this seems amazing in that at a minimum, every company should be doing this, but is this good? I mean, is this a little bit of gaslighting and woke washing? I don't know.
I mean, the thing that's not gaslighting about it is they have been doing it for 20 years, right? Like,
yeah, because this is the kind of thing that quote unquote would have been woke 20, now, and it would never pass now, right? Like, it would get sued out of existence because you're not right. You're supposed to be taking care of the shareholders only, right? You don't take care of the employees. That money should be going to the shareholders.
I have a hard time believing that this is A, going to last, and B.
Oh, you think it'll leave?
I mean, if there are
is it
headlines,
good then? So you think it's good then?
If there are headlines about it, doesn't?
Well, Ed is showing off.
To who? Not shareholders. He said shareholders love it, but that doesn't mean shareholders actually love it.
Well, that's what I want to know. It seems good, but do you think this is just kind of greenwashing?
Oh, no, I think the thing is good. I think that, I don't
want you to look ahead. I want you to tell me if it's good.
I think all companies should be, there should be a forced plan to profit share, period.
Yeah, in fact, how about this, Ed? Stick with this and stop thinking about AI. Just stick with this.
Yeah. This is fine.
Worry about your people and your workers. Forget about AI. Don't ever talk about that again.
I'm going to give this a 7.
All right. Okay. And just so you know, for all you listeners who are thinking about changing the channel, we have a speed round at the end.
Oh, thank God.
Where Matt's going to blaze through some exciting headlines. So don't leave. Our favorites, one of our favorites, ISS. We love ISS here.
We
no
do.
joke.
Yeah.
We love ISS. We love Glass Lewis.
We make
Proxy
fun of them
Advisor.
a lot, but we do love them. Yeah.
They don't love us.
They really, really don't love us.
Proxy Advisor ISS recommends vote against BP board over attempt to scrap some climate reporting. So BP wants to get rid of some previously approved climate reporting resolutions. They were previously approved by shareholders. The ISS is saying, what the hell? I don't even know if that's even legal. So vote against the board. Now, I think this is amazing, but the only part that bugs me is that do we only do fun things at non-US companies? But whatever. I mean, is this because there's more Europeans are more into doing things? Why is it BP?
So,
why is ISS not mad at other things?
I mean, yes, right? ISS's whole thing always was, we will give the client what they ask for. It wasn't some absolute hot take on the correct way to do governance. That's
right.
Not their thing. Their thing was we just provide clients with a way to get what they want in their own policies. So yes, the Europeans are going to have more of this. But what my question is actually, why does the bar have to be that's probably illegal for them to say?
Yeah.
I mean, shareholders approved it.
Right.
And they might be illegally scrapping something shareholders approved in a vote. So
yeah, two resolutions from 2015 and 2019 with near 100% support.
That's the part that's So the only way ISS wakes up is A, there's a proxy activist involved. It
has to be catastrophic,
right? B, someone fails attendance. Someone doesn't show up.
yeah.
To the meetings. They hate that.
If your car runs out of gas and you can't get there, you're screwed.
You're fucked. Your votes are against. And C,
but if you're a terrible human being who makes all the wrong decisions and shows a horrid performance record across every company you serve at, whatever.
That's fine. C is you actually broke a law. Like you broke a law.
Or maybe.
Those are the bars?
All right, give me a score.
I'm gonna give this a 6 because I like it.
At least they're doing something.
But I don't know. I'm like, come on. The bar has to be higher than broke the law to say vote against the board.
The article didn't go into too much depth. What I'm hoping though is it says recommends vote against the board. I hope it's not just like the chair of one committee. I hope it's the whole board. All right, let's move on and let's stay with BP. Activist shareholder follow this broadens climate campaign against BP. So they're also upset about the same thing that ISS is talking about. Now here's the part I highlighted. Follow this also warned of a possible legal action.
That's what we're left with.
After BP refused to put a separate shareholder resolution on the agenda of its upcoming April meeting. So it wasn't it Follow This that was sued by Exxon last year? Was it Follow This?
Was it Follow This?
The Dutch.
It was, the Dutch.
Arjuna Capital and Follow This. So
I
just thought this was great. We always like yell at these people like, come on, like you got lawyers, like don't just take this, like sue back. And I thought this was good. They're warning of suing BP, right?
I'm still pissed at Arjuna for that Exxon.
Okay, we're not talking about Arjuna though.
But I'm still generally.
You're not allowed
they
to
said we will never file another shareholder proposal with you again.
That was lame.
Like, what are you fucking doing? You had the right to do it.
They were thinking about like opening up their summer homes. They were busy. Like they couldn't get involved.
I don't think they have summer homes. I think those are like socially responsible investors who basically are just trying to eke out an upper middle class living.
That sounds amazing. Actually, all right. What do you have? What do you have on this one?
When they file the lawsuit, it's a 10. Until they file the lawsuit, it's a 5. I like urging. Urging.
5's not the worst.
I'm not into urging.
Here's a weird one. I
like weird ones.
TVA, that's the Tennessee Valley Authority. CEO Don Moole announces retirement as Trump slashes his pay. This is just a bizarre one, and I don't know if this is like just Trump wanting to be in power of everything or Trump hating everyone who works for the government, even though he is the head of the government. But he capped pay for all TVA employees at $500,000. So it means Don Moole, who made about $6 million last year, his cap would be paid at $500,000. He's only been there for a year, I think. So he is stepping down. Now, TVA is the largest public utility in the U.S. Some of his peers, like Lynn Good, she was at Duke Energy. She made $22 million in 2024. The CEO of Southern Company made about $24 million. So the reason why I put this in the good column is Trump onto something for capping executive pay? It's like, I know, like, you know, we can't. It's hard to agree with Trump with anything, but is he onto something here? Like, what is this? Help me out with this.
I don't know how.
This is a confusing one because we don't ever see stuff like this.
I mean,
I know it's his fake populist theater. I know it's not
that's
like
the problem.
real. But
I don't. What's Trump get out of attacking the Tennessee Valley Authority? I know
because it's a public utility.
I know it was
and
poorly
he wants
run.
To, does he want to like? Does he want to ruin it so it'll be privatized? Is that what he's trying to do?
30 people who it serves, right? Like the Tennessee Valley Authority. What's the total customers?
Isn't it massive? This article is calling it the largest public utility in the U.S.
Public utility, right? Because all the other utilities are private, right? Like I don't think there are many public utilities,
is that
and
true?
I'm saying like there's what, 1 million people on this, maybe.
So he's trying to ruin it so it'll be privatized. Because there was just an article yesterday that the new budget after the whole thing about the TSA. Remember how everyone was bitching about not paying the TSA workers and we need them greatly. his new budget is firing 20% of TSA workers. Like, he is systematically trying to privatize everything.
I like, this is why you can't trust that he's doing this because he read some governance work and thought that the
face
CEO
value. At face value, can the governance world use this for something?
The good game is not about face value. The good game is about understanding the underpinnings of these things.
That's true.
And yes, Tennessee Valley Authority has had like multiple directors in the past talk about how absurd CEO pay is, but they are by far the not worst. And
yeah, that's true.
Trump's involvement is actually complicating the actual analysis. I'm going to give it a 5. It's not better than a 5.
5 suggests your utter confusion. Here we go. I think you talked about this at last week's show, but let's give it a score. This one confuses me a little bit. Starbucks staff will now get paid weekly. I can't believe they weren't paid weekly. Bi-weekly just seems hard to manage. And some will get new bonuses. So this will allow baristas and shift supervisors at top stores to earn up to $300 each quarter for meeting sales goals and consistently delivering a positive customer experience. This seems like a lot for $300, but I don't know. I had to put a bonus on here. It's got to be good in some ways, right? But it doesn't seem amazing. I'm not expecting this to be above a 6, but what do you got?
So Brian Niccol in his first year got
close to 100 million.
96 million. The median.
Remember the famous CEO pay ratio that year was 6,666 to 1.
Yes, 666.
6666. So he's like a devil plus, right?
He's extra-sized devil.
Extra devil.
Meanwhile, the median, according to the CEO pay ratio, the median salary of the Starbucks employees is like $14,000, isn't it? Like it's like really low.
Great.
It's really low. So
for a job, it does not seem easy. Everyone's always like bitching at you.
So as a percentage, assuming that like the median person gets roughly $1,000 a year, you're talking about 10% of their take home could be. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I also know that Starbucks has come out and said this does not include the unions because it needs to be collectively bargained. So this is kind of a backwards way to punish unionization.
Speaking of the union, I was disappointed to see that they dropped their demand of $20 an hour to $17 already. I mean, that's some piss poor negotiating, if you ask me.
Doesn't Starbucks pay like $16.50 or something?
Bad.
Like
I didn't like that. Yeah.
I don't know how to. This is not good. It's not bad. I don't know what this is. It's better than not a thing.
I got to tell you, Starbucks is becoming one of those companies that unless some big gains are given to its employees, I don't know how anyone goes there anymore. Not only is it super expensive and the quality is not going to be as good as like your favorite local roaster with, actually normal people who go there, but they're just the workers are just not treated well. The last time I was in a Starbucks, I had a free coupon for something, and I kid you not, I walk up to the counter and the customer is bitching at the barista for some stupid reason. Like these people are just like in the line of fire all day, like yelling at them. So it's like I don't know what Brian Nichols is up to, honestly.
I had to take my kid to like go to the dentist this morning, and on the way home, we stopped at Starbucks so she could get a lemonade. And it took 20 minutes to get the lemonade. And,
did you yell at somebody?
And
did you low at a low-paying worker?
That's the thing. I didn't. But it's hard not to also because I know that the reason why there's only 4 people on staff instead of the 5 they probably needed is because Brian Nichols too fucking cheap. He wants to make his $96 million. He's not going to bring in another person. I wasn't sure if it was a unionized store. And if it was a unionized store, then these people don't get these bonuses. They aren't collectively bargained yet. Like
they aren't the best bonuses.
Like everything kind of sucks. It's a 5.
Yeah,
it's a 5. Everything kind of sucks.
Okay, let's move on. All right, well, what about this one? Maybe this one's better. Again, like I'm doing my best here. I looked at probably 1,000 headlines to pick out the good ones, but this one seems super promising. United Airlines and flight attendants reached a tentative deal with $740 million in bonuses. This would we're talking about 30,000 flight attendants here. First pay increase since 2020. Top wages up to $100 per hour. We talked about this in the past. The contract also covers compensation during the boarding process, which I can't believe they weren't. That's the thing that got me the most. Like, this is why you need unions. I cannot believe these people weren't paid when they were working.
That's insane.
Yeah. So this agreement would make its flight attendants the highest paid in the industry. Hopefully there'll be a domino effect at other airlines. This seems great to me. But what do you think?
Honestly, actually, contrasting this against Delta crowing about its profit sharing, if this makes United's teams the highest paid in the industry, and Delta's been doing profit sharing for 20 years, they haven't been doing much profit sharing. Like, how on earth?
Yeah.
I don't. I like this. I like it when a union comes to an agreement and everyone's a little grumpy. And I think this is the point of having the collective bargaining. I'm not a huge union person. I don't think everything needs a union. But I do think that in these industries where you have baristas and flight attendants who are in the line of customer fire in an age where every person's fucking angry all the time.
Yeah, this is way worse than Starbucks.
I don't I'm starting to sound like a cranky old man. There is no decorum. Everyone, because they're an internet troll, thinks that they can now bring that to the real world. But you're assholes when you do that.
Just put your head down and be quiet, and then let's just get to where we're going, and then get off the plane, and then you can yell at the cement on the sidewalk if you want. Just shut up.
No joke. I live on a lake, and there's some kids fishing in our backyard that's not supposed to be there, and I say you can't fish there, and they told me to go fuck off. They were 14, and I was like,
was that Barron Trump?
I don't understand. I was like, do I have to bring a baseball bat everywhere I go in order to right, what?
Give me a score on this one.
So I'm going to give this a 7. I'm going to give it a 7.
What? That's it?
Yeah. This is not this is not 10 worthy. No.
And by the way, if we get invited back to speak at the CII conference, which we should get invited to many more conferences than that. But if we get invited back, there I will ask you why you don't believe in unions for all companies. But I don't want to get into it now. But in front of an audience, I want to hear you give that answer. Let's move on. That was my desperate plea in case anyone from CII is listening that it's time to invite us back. All right. Chief Human Resource Officer salaries have surged 30% in S&P 500 companies. Looking at the Russell 3000, there's been an increase in chief human resource officers that are designated as the named executive officers at a public filing. That means the top 5 paid. It rose from 148.
You're not going to like my reaction to this.
In 2021 to 230 in 2025. And their pay has outgrown all other NEOs in the same time frame. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's your reaction?
There was one other time in the last 7 years when we saw a spike in salaries and usage of chief human resource officers. When was it?
Was that during the pandemic?
COVID. When COVID first hit. We covered it on these shows. We talked, in fact, one of your predictions was we saw this first chief of human resources become a CEO at a company at the time.
Yeah, I thought it would become a thing, and I still think it should become a thing.
What was the reason why they all of a sudden spiked? Because we had a massive labor problem, a global massive labor problem.
We still do, but yes.
But then it was people were sick,
trauma
from
mode.
home.
Triage mode.
There was a mass firing at the beginning of COVID, right? Now we have an existential threat to labor, not like a COVID threat where it's going to be done in 2 years or whatever. We have AI that may permanently displace labor. And all of a sudden, human resource officers are getting fucking spikes in salary. That's not a coincidence. That's the canary, right? That basically is telling you these companies are planning to fuck with their employees.
They're building their defenses.
They are building the defenses to fuck with their employees because they're going to have lawsuits. They're going to. This is a 0. This is as bad as it gets. This is the reason why everyone should be terrified that AI, every CEO, we covered this in the zine, CEOs are using AI to fire employees, despite the fact that it's not a proven technology that will actually work to improve shareholder value. They're doing it proactively because it's directly linked to their own bonuses. They get paid to fire you proactively. The Human Resources Office is designed as a bulwark between executives and employees. They are the wall. They're the ones who are going to have to do the firing. This is what this says.
Repeat what you just said, word for word, verbatim. Now listen,
it's never going to happen.
The one thing I'd like to see the gender stats on this, because I have this hunch in the last year or so, and I know like there's been a general anti-DEI wave across corporate, not only the government but corporate America, and we've been reporting that on that pretty regularly on the other show, Proxy Countdown. I have this sense that more and more men have been hired as chief human resources officers recently, and it used to be something that was basically only women. Like when you'd see a man, you'd be like, "Whoa!" I really have this sense that more and more men are being hired, and I wonder if that actually lines up precisely with what you're saying. But let's move on to the last one before we get to our speed round. This was a bill passed in the House of Representatives in the state of Maine, expected to pass in Senate. It would be the first state in the country. The entire state of Maine is poised to ban new data centers. So what do you think about this? So this would be a first, and it clearly would start happening in other states. Where do you land on this one?
Well, I think you love
banning,
it.
Just banning.
This is home for you, right?
It has nothing to do with Maine. I want this to happen everywhere, but
great.
Come on,
ban all the data centers. What the fuck are we getting for every data center? What do we get?
I mean,
like what they say.
I don't know,
they say you get
honestly.
jobs, but data centers are just giant air-conditioned factories with three people working there. There's no jobs, right? Like, and states in the South are giving subsidies to people to move their data centers there. This is fabulous. This is a 10.
Tax breaks.
This is a 10. Right. Thank you, Maine.
Thank you. Let's move on to our speed round. I got a bunch, so don't take your time. Really, just kind of go with what your vibe. And some of these are going to be difficult. Like this first one. This first one's difficult. Iran war could spur Europe to double down on renewables again. Where do you land on this one?
I mean,
war begets renewables.
When are we going to learn that we shouldn't have to wait for the war to just do the renewables? Just do the renewables. But Europe's this is Europe doing Europe. Like this is I'm okay with this. I'm an 8.
Speaking of labor deals, Caitlin Clark, WNBA, has a new labor deal. Her pay is going up 500% from $85,000 to $500,000.
Finally,
it's not
someone
just
who
her.
earned it.
10. Not just her.
10.
Yeah, okay. I'm impressed. It's not enough yet, but I'm still impressed that they got something done. This next one might be only for me, but to me it's good. This just shows you my bias. Climate change is impacting golf, from player health to courses, and French ski resorts face downward spiral amid climate change.
The two dumbest sports on earth.
I'm not into
really
golf.
Into them either. I'm gonna. But honestly, if this gets someone to pay attention, great. 8.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought you'd laugh at that one. How about this one? I don't know how you're going to take this one. Burger King to hire 60,000 workers as part of turnaround.
0
of all Burger King.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, those
are the jobs that are available.
Oh,
we just fired 30,000 Oracle workers. Now they can go work at Burger King.
I know you're right, but it is a job. All right. Red Lobster is reportedly bringing back endless shrimp 2 years after the CEO vowed it would never return, and it almost caused the bankruptcy the first time.
I know they said it.
It's coming back. It's coming back. This is supposed to be the wonder kid CEO, right? I could literally care less. Red Lobster kind of probably shouldn't exist anyway. It's a 5. I could literally care. I think it's funny. I think it's just funny. So stupid. Trump fires Attorney General Pam Bondi.
10.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he's going to replace her with the worst possible incarnation of the next thing. But
let's take a good when we can get
something good.
Hershey is moving back to the original recipe for Reese's peanut butter cups after the chocolate after the company's grandson blasted them last month. This is the grandson of the founder, I guess.
We need a Nepo grandson to say it tastes like ass. Nepo. You know, Reese's, you haven't used real chocolate and flavor.
Hershey's is gross.
It's so gross. Like even the Hershey's
doesn't taste like anything.
Are just disgusting.
They're nasty.
They're chemical.
It tastes like salty, like salty sugar. I don't know what it is.
I know you
waxy, salty sugar.
I know. Like people don't have any money anymore, and they don't want to go buy a real piece of chocolate because it costs like $100.
It's cheap. Go to Trader Joe's. It's cheap.
Yeah, Trader Joe's is just full of shrapnel, and they recall everything every week.
Oh, really?
It's all constant. Okay. They're constantly recalling stuff.
It's better than Hershey's.
But it tastes better than Hershey's. Even with the shrapnel, it tastes better than Hershey's.
What's your score?
I don't know how to feel about it. 2. I don't like.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Shouldn't have
let's
that
end
anyway.
the good game. End the good game for April 7th, 2026 on this headline: United Airlines is rolling out beds in economy class.
God, there's so many things to unpack there. How can we end on this?
I mean, I didn't know how you were going to land on this one. This could easily be a 0, easily could be a 10. I don't know where you're going to land on this one.
I hate flying. I don't want to fly.
Do you want to see your disgusting, flatulent, zitty neighbor sleeping by you for 7 hours as you go to a horrible trip to Amsterdam, even though you realize when you're midway over the Atlantic that weed is basically legal everywhere. Why the fuck am I going to Amsterdam anymore?
But do you know, you have to know that when they put a bed in economy class, it's going to be the worst version of a bed you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 milk crates with a bed sheet stapled on top of it.
I'm guessing it's going to be like a Murphy bed, on the outside of the plane.
It's not going to be that good.
I don't know. This is.
They're not going to clean it.
I also don't think that anyone should ever fly anywhere. Just stop flying. They're firing TSA agents, or Ed Bastian said the air traffic control should just be AI, and now we have beds so you can die asleep. I
love that Ed Bastian makes all these people. They make $20 million a year, and yet I'm waiting to board when I flew to Baltimore, I'm waiting to board my plane, and the plane gets in late, and people get off, and we immediately get on. No one's cleaned the plane.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I mean,
what?
This is what's up?
I'm giving this a 2. This makes me feel disgusting.
I thought maybe you would have wanted to sleep because you have in-laws in Hawaii. That's the most horrible flight ever.
No, we've only flew.
I thought maybe you'd like to sleep on that.
Before Alaska Air bought Hawaiian Air, we only flew Hawaiian Air. It basically just flew to New York or Boston and then San Francisco and Hawaii. That's all it did.
Yeah.
And they were always super nice. It's fine. It's comfortable. It's fine. They make that. They're used to doing that trip. It's nice. Now that Alaska owns it, it sucks. It sucks.
I don't know why.
Now everything's you have 2 feet. Oh, we charge for the extra foot, right?
Yeah, according to all the stakeholder reports I see in these airlines about who's happy and who's not, and anything that's loosely adjacent to Asia is good, but all the other airlines seem to suck. I have no idea why. I don't know why Asia's winning there, but that's the good game. We're back to the normal scoring. Last week we had a weird blip and you had a 7. But you're back to your normal 6.
Did I really get a 6?
Yeah, 5.66.
That
wasn't bad. I don't feel as horrible as I did when we started.
I know. I was feeling pretty bad. Although I have to go back to
I feel good about the flight attendants. Although to your point, we shouldn't be flying anymore. And good luck. United Airlines, you need a raise because people are going to be sleeping in beds.
Oh, God, it's good luck disgusting. With that. That's all we got. That's Hazelnut Rawlins. I'm your analyst, Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float. Come back on Thursday, I'm going to get back to doing regular proxy shows. I'm going to do like an actual analysis of a company on the proxy show.
Thank God. I'm here for it. I'm the biggest fan of those.
We're going to go deep diving on one company. We've got a shareholder primacy coming out tomorrow on Wednesday. And then we're wrapping the week on Friday. There's so much content.
So much.
And all the data. Like, thank you, FreeFlow Analytics, freeflowanalytics.com for all the data that they let us use. Until next time, goodbye.